Hello children, I welcome you all to the science class. Hope you all are fine and hope you all are studying and have started preparing for your exam, right? So children, today the day is 21st of August 2021 and it is Saturday. So let us see the fact that Venus is the only planet in the solar system that rotates in clockwise direction. So we know that children, all the planets including our planet Earth, it rotates in anti-clockwise direction, but Venus is the only planet that rotates in the clockwise direction. So children, let us see what we are going to do today. In today's class, what is this? It is a birds. Yes, so we are going to do chapter 6 and we are going to learn about birds. So, birds are one of the most fascinating and wonderful creation in the animal world. They have wings and a body covered with feathers, which make them different from other animals. So when we see birds, children, you feel very happy when you see birds flying. Yes, so it is one of the wonderful creation in the animal world, and its body is covered with feathers which make them different from other animals, and it also has got wings. Yes, the wings which help them to fly up in the sky. So features that help a bird to fly. So children, have you thought how does a bird fly? Yes, they are also a normal animal like us, but there are certain features which help birds to fly. So would you be able to fly if you had a pair of wings? No, because with wings, birds have some special features which help them to fly. So it is not enough that if you have wings only you can fly. Okay, there are some special features which help them to fly. First feature is the body of a bird is boat shaped so that it can float in the air just like a boat floats in on water. So you can see that if you see the body of a bird, it is the shape of a boat. It is like the shape of a boat. That means both the end of the boat is tip, like they have tip ends, right? So they have conical ends. That is why it helps the bird to fly in the air just like boat floats on the water. Now bones of a bird are thin, hollow and filled with air, which make the body light so that it can soar up in the air. So the bones, we also have bones. Yes, all the vertebrates animals have bones. So usually birds have bones which are thin and which are hollow. Hollow means they don't have anything inside the bones, and those hollow space is filled with air, which make their body light so that it can soar up in the air. Its body is covered with feathers. You can see in the picture that the bird's body is covered with feathers, which make the body lighter and also help to keep the body warm. Now children, it has wings made of feathers which do the work of arms. The wings have strong muscles called flight muscles. The flight muscles help to move the wings. So they have flight muscles, children. Okay, it has wings of wings which is made up of feathers and which works like our arms. So the wings are very strong and it is made up of muscles, flight muscles. You can see in the picture. Yes, the bird's wings are made up of muscles which are known as flight muscles. It has a tail which is made up of feathers. It helps the bird to change directions during flight. It is like the steering wheel of the car. So it also has a tail which is made up of feathers. Okay, so it helps the bird to change its direction. So the tail which a bird has, it helps to change the direction during the flight. It is like a steering. You have seen the steering of the car. It helps to move a car along to the direction we want. So in the same way, the tail of the bird helps the bird to move in the direction. Now children, you can see the next topic, different types of feathers. So there are two types of feathers. One is down feather, which covers the bird body and help to keep it warm. Next is flight feathers are found in wings and tails. That means down feather helps to keep the body warm, and flight feather, as the name suggests, it helps to fly. Yes, so did you know Dr. Salim Ali was one such person who loved watching birds? He had written many books on birds and also has worked hard to protect them. Now, how does a bird fly? So, have you ever thought, how does a bird fly? Yes, when we see birds flying, we also want to fly. So, the birds, let us see how does a bird fly. The bird first flap its wings up and down to rise up in the air. So, if you have seen like properly how does a bird fly, it first start flapping its wing, okay, up and down to rise up in the air. So it slowly rise up in the air. When it reaches the desired height, it stops flapping its wings and simply glides through the air. So when it reaches the certain height, it stops flapping the wing and slowly it glides through the air. There are two types of flapping movement. One is upstroke movement. You can see the picture. In the upstroke movement, the wings move upward and backward. You can see the first two pictures. The wings are moving upward and backward. And downstroke movement, when the wings move downward and forward. You can see the second two pictures. The wings are moving downward and they are moving forward. They spread the wings to stop flying and land on the ground. Now they spread the wings to stop flying and when they wanted to lie on the ground. Now birds and they fly. All birds do not fly in the same way. Some of them fly along distances while some do not fly at all but run on land using their legs. So we know that there are certain birds which fly very, very high. For example, kite, eagle. Yes, they fly very high. But there are some birds which do not fly and they run on land using their legs. For example, hen. Yes. So some birds that hunt other animals fly at great height to find their prey easily. Such birds also have sharp eyesight. For example, eagles, kites and vulture. So some birds, children, they are carnivorous. We have learned that most of the birds are carnivorous also. So they fly at a great height and they have very sharp eyesight. That means they can see when they are in very much height also. When they are high up in the sky also, they can see small things minutely. Understood? So, for example, those type of birds are eagles, kites and vulture. Birds like sparrow and myna fly at low heights. You can see the picture of myna there. This type of birds fly at low height. Hens and peacock fly at short distance. This is a common thing you know, yes. Pigeon, swallow and crow fly long distance. This type of birds fly long distance. And birds like ostrich, kiwi and penguins, these are the flightless birds. Yes, they don't fly at all because their body is very heavy. Their wings are not able to carry their body. That is why they don't fly at all. Now children, let us see water birds. Some birds like duck and swan can also swim. Such birds have special features such as waved feet. You can see the picture, yes, picture of a little duckling. It has a waved feet. If you focus on its feet, it has a waved feet which help it to swim. They also have oil glands under their skin that help them to keep their features waterproof. So there are certain birds such as duck and swan which help them to swim. Okay, such birds have special features like webbed feet and they have oil glands which help the skin to keep waterproof and their feathers are waterproof. You can see the first picture and the second picture of duck. These are water birds. Now, how do birds eat their food? Birds do not have teeth, we know that. They use their beaks to pick up food and break it into tiny bits. The shape of the beak and claws are suited to the kind of food they eat. They may eat insects, flesh, grains, fruits and nuts. So we know that birds, they don't have teeth, so they use their beak to pick up food, and they can even break food into tiny pieces. Okay, so the shape of claws, you can see the picture of claws there and the beaks there, and it is suited to what type of food does a bird eat. Okay, they may eat insects, also flesh, grains, fruits and nuts. They also use the beaks to build their nest. Flesh-eating birds like eagles have a strong, sharp beak and sharp claws. We know that there are certain birds like eagles, vultures, they have very sharp beak and very sharp claws because they feed on other animals. They are flesh-eating birds. That means they are carnivorous, right? Now the first picture you can see below is a sparrow. Sparrow have a short pointed beak to eat seeds and grains. So sparrow, we have seen sparrow all around us. So it has a short pointed beak because to help it to eat seeds and grains. Parrot have strong curved beaks to eat nuts and fruits. Parrot eats nuts and fruits. Woodpecker has a long sharp beak because it taps the bark of trees and pull out insects. Yes, woodpecker usually it is fond of eating insects inside the bark of the tree, so it has a very long and sharp beak. Kingfisher and pelicans have long flat beaks to catch fish and long legs for wading in water. So kingfishers are the birds which usually feed on like they hunt fishes for their meals. So they have very long beaks to catch the fish, and they also have very long legs for wading in the water. Now next children, why do birds build nests? Why do you think birds build nests? We have done housing and clothing in chapter 4. So in the same manner, birds build nests to protect their babies. They make nests in trees, on cliffs, on the ground, or in old buildings to lay their eggs. They use twigs, grass, leaves, rags, cotton, wool, etc. to build their nests. We know that nest is a home of a bird, so they build the nest to protect their babies. They lay their eggs on the nest, yes, and they protect their babies inside the eggs, and the eggs are inside the nest, and these nests are made up of twigs, grass, leaves, rags, cotton, wool, etc. and they build nests on cliffs, on the ground, or in old building. Now different birds build different types of nests. An eagle built a nest on trees. You can see the first picture. The eagle built nest on trees. A partridge built a nest on the ground. So partridge is a bird which builds a nest on the ground. A tailor bird stitches leaves to make its nest. So a tailor bird, the name itself signifies that it stitches leaves to make its nest. A woodpecker makes a nest in the hole of a tree. Now, as soon as the egg-laying season nears, a bird starts building its nest. When the eggs are laid, the bird keeps them warm until the baby bird hatch out of them. The parent birds take care of the babies until they learn to fly and find food for themselves. So, children, when the eggs are laid during the egg-laying season, the birds start keeping the eggs warm until the baby birds hatch out of them. The baby birds come out of the nest, and the parent birds, they take care of their babies until they learn to fly and they learn to find their food themselves. Now children, have you ever thought how do birds help us? Now you can see that birds help us and the environment by the following ways. spreading seeds to help plant grow. So they spread seeds. Yes, they carry seeds from one place to one plant to another, one place to another place. Okay, and they eat the food. Yes, and they throw the seeds on the ground. So in this way they spread seeds and help the plant to grow in different places. Pollination, plant and flowers. So pollination is a process of reproduction in plants, children. So they help in pollination of plants and flowers, like they carry seeds in the same manner. They carry some seeds, they carry some spores of flower from one place to another, and it helps in pollinating plants and flower. Eating pests like insects and mice. So pest means, children, there are unwanted insects which can damage the crops of farmers. So the birds eat pests like insects and mice, and they help the farmers to keep their field clean. Okay, now cleaning up by eating dead animals. We have learned about scavengers in chapter 2, I guess, right? So there are certain birds like eagle and vultures which eat dead animals. They feed on dead and decaying animals. They are known as scavengers. So those type of birds help in cleaning up by eating dead animals. So children, we are over with the chapter. Okay, so your home assignment is that you can see the key terms in your book. So you have to write the key terms in your science copy. Hollow means I've already told you, something which is empty from inside. Flight muscles, muscles that help a bird to fly. Hatch, coming out of a young one from an egg. Webbed, something which is joined to each other to form a web. So there are only 4 key terms from this chapter. These key terms you are going to copy it from your book in the copy. So this is your home assignment, children. So hope whatever we have done today is clear to you all. I will see you in the next class with the next chapter. Thank you, everyone.